Good morning, St. Louis. Welcome back to another episode of Who's Talk Mobile, where the M stands for My God Martin. Solely, he is missed. We miss you, Martin. But we in Silver right now. Y'all know me. I'm Artemis Caldwell, founder and CEO of Who Is Incorporated. This guy.
Yep, I'm Gabe, coach, co-host, founder and CEO of Flip St. Louis.
Y'all know.
Yeah, we got AV in the back.
Y'all know her.
Avi.
Okay.
Right.
Hey, look.
He was gone and then don't know how to say people's
I'm trying
names
to
no
tell
more.
you. It's cool. It's cool.
What's up, y'all? It's Avi Nuri back in the flesh again and cut like this bed. But this is my comfy seat back here.
Hey, that's all right. So, today, Gabe, you actually...
I brought it up because the topic about abortion, because that was a big topic this week, as many states in the United States of America have put a ban on abortion, according to certain stipulations. Especially here in Missouri, there was a bill, I think it was passed. I don't know if it was if it's in effect right now or not.
I believe it's like Monday or Tuesday.
I gotta look it up. I don't know when it's in effect, but we had a bill passed here in Missouri as well that said that abortion is illegal after 8 weeks. And was it in Missouri that the penalty was life in prison?
Really? Nah.
I think.
I don't know. I gotta look that one up.
Yeah, I gotta look it up too. I don't know if that was exactly here in Missouri too, but I know in some states after 8 weeks, if the bill said if you get an abortion after 8 weeks, it's punishable by life in prison. But that was a real big topic on social media this week, and it was a real touchy subject for both men and women. Okay. So, I kind of thought that it would be a good topic for us to discuss on the show, and, we can kind of discuss our opinions about it.
Yeah. So it's going. Let me ask you this. I know you like a real guy for guy type of vibe. How do you feel like the 8-week abortion bill being passed? How do you feel that'll affect the males? Pop?
I think that, honestly, I think it'll force both men and women to be more responsible and accountable. Now, I don't necessarily agree with the bill that was passed. I kind of, I agree with the concept, but I don't think that the way that they did it was really, the life in prison thing, that's kind of harsh, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then also knowing the reason, it's a whole bigger reason behind the abortion. You see a lot on social media, everybody's kind of talking about, is that men are trying to, control women's bodies and things like that.
Yeah.
Where, in actuality, it's a bigger issue than that. And it honestly ain't got nothing to do with us, me, you, and, us as black men and women. That decision kind of wasn't made based on us. It was kind of it's a white American thing of what they're going through right now.
Really?
Because there have been actually quite a few articles talking about that in quite a few different states. I think 26. The birth rate for white Americans is lower than the death rate. The death rate is higher. So that means that, more white Americans in 26 states are dying than are being born.
Okay.
And if you know anything about white supremacy, their whole thing is about, maintaining power, maintaining dominance, and, with them understanding that their numbers are kind of, dwindling out, they got to take desperate measures, And one way for them to do that is to force white women to have babies. Now, is it right? The way that they're trying to do it? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But, that's what we're dealing with right now, though. So.
Okay. Interesting spin.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to kind of chime in.
Yeah.
There were a few things that I was just kind of scrolling through on social media about, this entire topic because I've been trying to, kind of poke my ear into it without getting consumed by it because personally I don't know what it is like to go through an abortion. Personally, I don't know what it is like to be in an unfortunate circumstance to where you have to even consider whether or not you want to, period. I don't even want to say the word because it's not something I couldn't fathom. I've never been through it. I only pray that whoever those women are, that they can seek whatever help and comfort they need to go through this situation. I don't think that it is okay for people of power to have a say-so on a woman's body. And not even that, but I don't think that it's fair because you don't know what it's like for that person to even carry during this, in the circumstance of how they received the child, or during the circumstance of what they're going through in their life, whether or not they can afford it, or whether or not it was planned or not. I don't feel like people of the government should have a say-so in those types of matters because at the end of the day, y'all not carrying that child. You don't have the responsibility to caring for that child. You don't have the responsibility of teaching that child right from wrong, of teaching that child how to overcome that situation. You don't have the responsibility of teaching that mother how to heal from that entire situation. You don't have that responsibility. So I don't feel like it's fair for people to be trying to enforce laws on the women's body and on birth and life in general. I don't feel like that should be in the power of the mother.
Okay.
Period. I feel like that should be in the say-so of the mother. Period. I don't feel like there should be a law telling me when I can and cannot have a child. Why? Are you finna pay the child bills? You finna feed this baby?
See, and I feel like for the powers that be, abortion is a very touchy subject because it is dealing with a life. And I know, and I've not necessarily had the pleasure of, but like, not like pleasure of, but like, I have like known women who had dealt with abortion, who have dealt with miscarriage, who have dealt with even giving the baby up for adoption. You know what I mean? Afterwards. And then all of us have all dealt with a woman who's dealt with the child after, you know what I mean? After birth. And that'll be just the mother. But it's just like each one of those have their own certain like trials and tribulations that go with that. And I just feel personally just like for us to not necessarily have laws in play on such be like that's more so a behavioral type of law. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like it's one of those like I'm forcing you to make a decision kind of deal. You know what I mean? Because I'm only giving you 2 months. For real. But like you were saying, different circumstances. I don't know how far y'all know I really like Marvel and watching Netflix. In Luke Cage episode, spoiler alert, the one of the antagonists said that she was raped by her uncle and had a baby, and like she was looked at to be this bad person because she told her child that she didn't want her, but as a family, like the lady who was raising her told her, oh, but you gotta raise a baby. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of different circumstances that it's just like, dang, to say a person only has 8 weeks, like you were saying, you don't know the circumstances, you don't know that
everybody doesn't carry the same, everybody doesn't show the same. Some people don't always know they're pregnant until they almost 3-4 months.
Yeah.
Because everybody don't always. You can't just put a law down and enforce that upon everybody when we are not the same. And on top of that, I feel like in the long run, all this is going to do is end up having more kids in the system than anything, because you can leave a baby at the hospital. You can give birth to a baby and walk out that hospital, but you will not get in trouble for that, because why? It's at the hospital. They'd rather you leave it there than take it out of the streets and leave it on the streets, because then you're gonna go to jail. I feel like in the long run, all it's gonna do is have more kids end up getting left in the system, because we're gonna have mothers out here who are forced to have kids that they don't want.
Now I gotta ask you this question, right? And I understand. I don't believe that. Okay, if you're raped, the woman should have a baby, or like anything,
Yeah.
you know, where she's forcibly, you know, having a child implanted into her womb.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, a lot of abortions still aren't, you know, the result of rape.
Yeah.
A lot of abortions, let's be honest about it, are the result of people being sexually irresponsible.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's like, I believe on the same hand, both people should be responsible for
Yeah,
the
most
decisions that
definitely.
they've made, because we're adults
Yeah.
and we know that the purpose of sex is to reproduce.
Yeah.
So if a child comes out of you having sex, me personally, I believe, okay, you chose to lay in that bed, you got to deal with what comes out of that.
Okay.
You know, maybe, okay, you didn't intend on doing it. You didn't plan on doing it, you know. But, you know, you chose to go up in that girl raw and not pull out. You know, you
Yeah.
chose to let that man come into you raw and release in you. So it's like, you know, my opinion, when it's that situation, live with your decision.
Okay.
Live with what you,
Okay.
you know, live with what you brought into this world by your actions.
Yeah.
Something that you consciously knew you were doing and wanted to do. You feel me?
I feel that.
So it's like, on that hand, I think it'll.
I still don't feel like that's the law's place.
No.
Yeah,
No.
I don't feel like that's the law's place. At the end of the day, yeah, other people make mistakes. Some people, yeah, they out here reckless, not using protection. But if they want to get an abortion, they want to get an abortion. If they're not ready, they're not ready. I don't feel like that's the law's place. It's a way you can still teach somebody a lesson without forcing them to do something that
Yeah.
they do not want to do.
Yeah.
Because at the long run, all that's doing is forcing somebody's hand. If somebody does not genuinely want to keep that child, you are forcing somebody's hand. You should not have to.
But
do
let
that.
me ask you this, right? Let me ask you this. You wanted to kill somebody, but you don't want to go to jail, though. That's kind of the same thing in my eyes.
But that's the law's place to fix that. But this is not the law's place to make somebody have a baby. That's the law's place to get somebody the right jail time. That's something completely different.
But what I'm saying is, it's an outcome for everything. It's an outcome for every action that you do. And, you know, even if you do get an abortion, there's still going to be an outcome of that. You might not be able to have kids later on in life when you actually do want
Then
them.
let that be the reason then. But don't say that she need to have this baby as her karma. Nah. There's always a domino effect to everybody's actions.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to force somebody's hands on something that you have no control over, nor are you going to help contribute to. What is the government going to do by if you're going to pass a law like that, you're going to help.
I mean, but in their argument, they are, because you have a lot of people on welfare, and then everybody know, like, the tax scheme.
Yeah, but
quote
welfare ain't
unquote.
really nothing, because they finna start taking food stamps away
Yeah,
from people,
yeah,
aren't they?
most definitely.
So
but
what's the point?
but
So-
it's still the argument of, like, they have, because it's people still have it, like, I know a person who is having a baby just off the tax break. You know what I mean? And it's just like, man, you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, and I think that's fucked up,
You
too.
know what I mean?
I think that's kind of wrong.
So like it's on the tip of, yeah, you have to be sexually responsible, and most definitely people mess up. Like, and I not to say, like, yeah, you are the one who determine, like, if you ready or not, but it's still like, you, prime example, like, say you with a person for 3 years and y'all, like, had a steady relationship, that now the only thing you will be arguing, like, by having a child is, are you ready? You know what I mean? And that's just more internal question. So my argument is, y'all making me in 8 weeks. I gotta crunch that decision making when y'all haven't in place any programs to try to make people better.
To
You
put a perspective into it, for me being an actual female,
Yeah.
I've taken the precautions to keep myself safe, regardless of whatever man that I'm with. Because I've been on birth control for years.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of people, my family probably don't know that, but you know, I've taken that extra precaution for myself, because at the end of the day, sometimes condoms aren't enough.
Yeah.
I've had this, you know, I've had that happen to where, okay, yep, I'm glad I did protect myself, because look what happened. and we ain't even know types, you know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So, but I also am aware of myself to know that if I'm gonna put myself in a situation, if you ain't good, I'm finna be good regardless.
Yeah.
You have to be smart if you gonna condone in those activities. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's what we're saying too with the
Yeah.
sexual responsibility.
But as far as this law, it is very controversial because you are gonna have people who are gonna feel like you gave like. This is gonna force people to be smarter about who they sticking they.
But like
how
you
they,
said, it's gonna force it.
Yeah, it'll force
on
you.
the same token.
But yeah.
You know, we never know what's happening with those women. We
Mhm.
never know
Mhm.
what's gonna happen with that child. In the long run, I don't really see no good coming from this. Because I really feel like it's gonna end up having more kids left in the system, more unfit mothers, more unfit homes. This is all I see, and the government isn't gonna help them with that. They trying to take away the help that they need already.
But they're not gonna take away this one. Who is? We are here to help and give you everything you need. What we do is to spread awareness and have these conversations, not to interject, but this is what we do with these conversations. We want to express ourselves and also teach. Because again, what we are doesn't define us. Our circumstances aren't our choice. We all need help. Change won't come unless we help each other the right way. Every day, someone is born with their eyes closed, and we believe that we can change that. And when the world asks what we say, we'll just say our names, and you can just see by our actions. And I feel like you could really that message could really hit home, because now that we opened up the conversation for babies, just think of all the people who are not conscious or having sexual responsibilities, you know what I mean? So now, just more so by these conversations, we opening up your eyes to see, you know what I mean? So there go again that message of this is, because going over a question that you had asked me that I was just reflecting over today was, what do I think the right help is? And it's the answer I gave was, you know what's the right help? And that's a cheerleader versus a coach. You always gonna be better with somebody right next to you. You know what I mean? Always. And it can either be a cheerleader or a coach. But either way, you still gonna be good. You know what I mean? And that's so when the government come in, like you were saying, they're gonna break up homes and families. With the 8 weeks, you're forcing me to, one, come to a quick decision. Whether who is we trying to get you, is the beginning of change starting with yourself. So when something like this take place, we have the code of harmony. That's to create confidence and self-assurance and help you with the next step in life. You see what I'm saying? So those 15 days, these 15 days are designed, to help you in a place like this. You know what I mean? Give me 15 days out of the eight weeks. Watch you can make a very positive decision going toward. You know what I mean? Because losing a baby, you got postpartum depression. You know what I mean? But no one's taking the time out to even talk about that. Like a lot of mothers, after having the baby, you now have a depression. Like, man, I don't even this ain't even me no more. Like, you have a certain detachment. Then you have kids growing up.
That was a part of you.
Yeah, you got kids growing up. Again, with unfit parents who are they want to just party and live, and now you got a lot of grandparents raising their kids, and it's just again, what you touched on, Gabe, sexual responsibilities. If you're going to lay in that bed, you need to understand what's going to come with it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And again, that's 15 days. They want enlightenment. You see what I'm saying? And it's just to see how the code can just help any and everybody, where y'all can see how who is just intertwined and stuff. So, yeah. That was just a real quick.
Break you just put in there.
Yeah. Real quick, But yeah. So, if anything else on that, y'all, just want to wrap everything up on that episode.
I ain't got much else here.
Okay. Hey.
I'm definitely good. You just
good?
did that for me.
Okay. All right. Hey, in honor of Tupac, can I give a shout out to Keep Your Head Up? The first verse, he said, we'll create a generation, create a group of men that hate the ladies, don't nobody else care but Tupac care. Listen to that first verse. I'm gonna come back to you and give it to you, but that first verse really gonna knock it out. But yeah, Tupac, we love you, miss you. Keep your head up, everybody, even women, because they trying to attack y'all. Oh, man. Yeah. All right, we out.